You all right? Okay, we're watching the kids while Mama goes on a grocery run. We're back at the chalkboard here. So again, I just wing it. Got some chalk and try to articulate what we're trying to do here with these variables that is particularly unique in our context with all of our pig barns here on the side. See, we've got 4 barns stacked up about 5 million gallons of manure a year. But we all have sunshine, and this year we've had a lot of water. So basically, if you watch my videos, I'm trying to capitalize on all these variables with a different system rather than just monocropping. So these are kind of the architecture of the plants here. We dragline manure, applied radishes and wheat. And the reason we do the radishes, the surface area of the leaves make a very quick canopy, and they store the nutrients in the pig manure for later. So they catch and release. The wheat doesn't have big enough roots and it's spaced so wide it can't capture it, and we would leach it through the tile lines or volatilization, denitrification, and so on. So winter cold kills that eventually in January. So then we get to the spring, and this is 37.5-inch wheat. We'll even go wider next year. And if you've watched my videos, what happened to that wheat? It just spread out as far as it possibly can, and it actually closed for a couple weeks there in May, and then it started to erect once again. So the plant is trying to capture as much sunlight as possible. So again, this is all context. There's several people. You got John Cutts, Ed Malecki, you got Tim Boring. They're all a little bit further north than us. And your latitude, your frost on the front half, the back half, the total GDUs really dictate what you can get away with. So I tried to push the boundaries as much as possible this year. We planted our beans March 16th. We used a draper head. And I'm not trying to prove anything wrong. I'm just leveraging the fact that we're further south. We can harvest our wheat in late June so we can get away with things. So we planted the beans crossways for the reason of once we got this wheat out of the way, it would close that gap quicker. So if we go even wider and we go crossways, it's going to be a lot quicker canopy closure than if we have a double or triple or a single bead down the middle. So as we go through time here, when we get out to June, so this is the magic of wide row wheat and wheat grown on manure. Instead of a T1 tiller, a T2 tiller that struggles to get sunlight up top like 7.5-inch wheat, we re-engineer the architecture of the wheat. So the bottom is 7.5-inch spacing, but the top is somewhere around 22, 25 inches wide, but the heads go in a half a circle. So if you really get your dork pencil out and look at the math here, we've changed the footprint 7.5 to 22. That's a coefficient of 3. But as you know, pi r squared, 3.14, and we're a half a circle. So you times that coefficient from the bottom to the top of 3 times 1.57. We're getting 4.71 times the surface area for wheat heads. So if we can have plants either cover or cash crops going nonstop to catch nutrients, to lower weed pressure, and we can change the angles and relay things, and now we're catching the sunlight in different angles, we're increasing sun capture, kind of like a downtown city of skyscrapers, just allowing more people to live. I mean, that's basically what we're doing here. So once we get the wheat out of the way, now you can see our beans are now draping over the wheat residue, and we're closed back shut. And we've been in reproduction now from late April, and these beans are group 4. We chose a very late bean, so they're going to be alive well into September. So we're going to have 3.5, 4 months of reproduction, which is what you're getting paid for as a farmer. So the other thing we can leverage with the low seeding population, widening this out and tillering, the tillers now get sunlight capture, so they put viable heads on So we've lowered our wheat seeding population by 25%. And what else have I not covered here? I think that's it. But what I'm trying to articulate here is we can produce a lot more relay cropping and changing our sunlight capture more in angles and relays, because we got so much dead time during the course of the year, whether we're waiting for that monocrop to canopy or we're really trying to beat a frost up the front. A lot of things we can do here. So anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.